Need tickets to that next event? Well, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got them with soccer anywhere in the world. Tickets to any venue, any sport. Want to go to NCAA or NFL football matches? We've got them.
Yeah.
Baseball at every level. Every Power 5 matchup is available. Don't forget, costumes and paint are optional. What's that? You want to go to Broadway? We have those too. Want to jam out? Every concert, every artist. That's right, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got the tickets for less. 12ozsports.com/tickets. That's 12ouncesports.com/tickets.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money, and we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sportsbook, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Taco Tuesday edition of Primetime Live with Philly Pete. I am your host, the one, the only Philly Pete, and we're coming at you live from the 24/7 12-ounce sports streaming platform, Roku TV, YouTube, and of course, Fire Stick TV. Come on in, check us out. We have all the assets right now. All right, I'm telling you right now, this network is growing, and I highly suggest that everyone tunes in, really. Hopefully everyone's having a great Tuesday. Work is over. Chaotic week going on. Just a lot going on. But hopefully everyone out there is getting home safe. Whether if you're going out or coming home, whatever it may be, you know what to do. Be safe, be responsible, and let's go from there. This is, first, it's nice to be back on air, in terms of having my normal show. Obviously between last week and early this week, it's been shorts, which have been fine. I'm all about the shorts, like I said, short videos are great. Quick and to the point, couple minutes here and there to catch up with you guys. But tonight, we have a huge NHL card. I wanted to do the full show tonight strictly because of that. And we'll get ready to rock and roll. College basketball, we're crunching down to March. We're about 4 weeks away from Selection Sunday. Absolutely love it. So we're getting ready to crunch time. We're getting towards the end of the season. Then we got the conference tournaments, which are always interesting because we always see those upsets that shouldn't happen, and we do see it, which is cool. So I'm very intrigued for these conference tournaments, let alone like the non-major conferences, So here we are, ladies and gentlemen. So I hope everyone's doing well out there. So let's kick it off with some headlines in sports. Diana Taurasi, the all-time Phoenix Mercury UConn Husky, retiring from the WNBA. 3 titles with the Mercury, 6 Olympic golds, 20 seasons in the books with the WNBA, finally putting up the jersey in the rafters. And man, what can I say? Hell of a career for her. I just can't believe it's been 20 seasons. I remember in high school, like following her like at UConn, and then, throughout college, in the WNBA. It's absolutely crazy. It's absolutely wild. So, happy future endeavors for Diana, and hopefully, she has a nice, relaxation, nice little cruise somewhere, or a little vacation somewhere nice is definitely in the works for her. Justin Tucker's allegations very concerning right now, so we'll see what happens there with him. Bengals plan to make Jamar Chase a top-paid non-quarterback, which makes sense. He's going to be on the draft boards early for next year's fantasy football. So he'll be easily a top 3 pick, I think. Between Saquon, you have Jamar Chase. Derrick Henry will be a first-round pick to me too. So we'll see what happens there for sure. In other news with the NFL, the tush push. Okay, the Green Bay Packers have came out, or basically the word on the street, the Packers are complaining and moaning and kind of bitching the fact that, hey, I want to ban the tush push. Once again, it's being on out to vote to ban. It's not going to happen. Okay, it's kind of unfair to the Eagles. It works, so why should we eliminate something like that? Why should it be eliminated? Okay, we've been seeing it all over the NFL now. Buffalo Bills have been using it too. Okay. So why should it be banned if it works? It's just absolutely silly. The league is a joke if they ban this. I see it. I see the blanket.
Blanket's going to help the cover.
It's a joke to the NFL. It's already a no-fun league as is because you can barely touch the quarterback with a pinky and you get flagged for unnecessary roughness. It's a joke. Not what it used to be like back in the day. Okay? A lot of kids nowadays will never understand how football and basketball and sports in general used to be, 10, 15 years ago. Really, it's so much different back in the day. So we'll see what happens if it gets banned. It won't, but we'll go from there. Okay. That's really it in terms of what's been going on. Browns, they don't plan to trade Garrett, but rest assured, look out for draft night. It's going to happen. He doesn't want to be a Brown. He wants to get traded. So just be ready for something on draft night. It's going to happen. Something will happen. I just have a feeling it just makes a lot of sense. Otherwise, we'll probably sit out the season. Okay? So I think, Browns are going to be terrible next season as well. There's not much going on with them. So we'll see what happens. That's right.
So I just covered them up.
All right, let's talk about college basketball. All right, so we have, in terms of college basketball, okay, Duke at Miami, okay, that's a joke. 25-point favor for Duke. Florida at Georgia, that's a big game for Georgia. I don't think they get in. I still don't think Georgia's that good anymore, that good in terms of getting into the tournament. But, I think Florida should be cruising there. They look really good, Florida, at the moment. So keep scrolling. We keep going through the rest of the card here tonight. And, Iowa State at Oklahoma State. Tennessee at LSU. Mississippi State at Bama. Mississippi State should be good in terms of getting into the tournament. 19-8 on the year, 7-7 in the SEC. So that's kind of worrisome. But to be fair, they've had a really tough season, but they've been doing pretty well. They'll get into the tournament. Washington at Wisconsin, South Carolina at Missouri, Louisville at Virginia Tech, and you got to give it to the Cardinals, man. One hell of a season this year. 21-6, 14-2 in the ACC compared to last year, where they were god awful. So you have to give it to them, man. Like Louisville's having one heck of a season for sure, and that really rounds it out. New Mexico at San Diego State. That should be a fun game tonight to watch. New Mexico will be in. San Diego State is one of those teams that is in game as an 11 seed. So, they should be locked and loaded into a spot into the tournament once March rolls around here. And then last but not least, Gonzaga and Santa Clara. Santa Clara is one of those teams that they can surprise in the conference tournament. Gonzaga, we know, is in. St. Mary's, we know, is in. You have Santa Clara, you have San Francisco. Not a lot of love out there, but these are very underrated teams. So be on the lookout. Gonzaga is minus 6.5. I like Santa Clara. I do. I like that 6.5, that plus 6.5, plus 7 spot for Santa Clara. So we'll see what happens there when they play later on tonight. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I know it's 10 after 6. I'm going to take a quick 2-minute commercial break. When I get back, it's going to be NHL for the last 18 minutes of the show. We're going to rock out with some NHL, and we'll get some plays. It's a large card tonight, so let's rock and roll. This is the Tuesday edition of Prime Time Live with Philly Pete. Sit back, relax, give me 2, and I'll be back.
Need tickets to that next event? Well, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got them with soccer anywhere in the world. Tickets to any venue, any sport. Want to go to NCAA or NFL football matches? We've got them.
Yeah.
Baseball at every level. Every Power 5 matchup is available. Don't forget, costumes and paint are optional. What's that? You want to go to Broadway? We have those too. Want to jam out? Every concert, every artist. That's right, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got the tickets for less. 12ozsports.com/tickets. That's 12ouncesports.com/tickets.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money. And we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sportsbook, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
And ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for taking that quick 2-minute commercial break with me. This is the Tuesday edition of Primetime Live with Philly Pete. I am your host, the one, the only Philly Pete. We're coming at you live on the 24/7 12-ounce sports streaming platform, YouTube TV, or YouTube, I should say, Roku TV, Fire Stick TV. We're coming at you live from everywhere. Okay, make sure you download and install those platforms, those apps. We're everywhere nowadays, ladies and gentlemen. This network's going to keep growing and growing and growing. So I'm telling you right now, do not lose out on this opportunity to be listening into one of the best, if not the hottest, networks out there in the country and let alone the entire world. Okay, we're coming at you live from everywhere. Great shows all over the line that we have on 12 Ounce Sports. Okay, great shows everywhere, covering every sport, every bet here, there, live sports. Okay, D3 sports, D2 sports, you name it. We're coming at you live with that. Okay, really, do not miss out when we have live shows coming in, live sports coming in, and then you have everybody that have our live shows. Okay, that's part of 12 Ounce Sports, including myself. All right, so welcome back. Thanks for taking that quick 2-minute timeout. All right, big NHL card tonight where I'm about to get in with you guys shortly. But before I do that, make sure you hit up mybookie.ag. Great book. Promo code. We're going to hook you up with a promo code 12 Ounce Sports. 12OZ Sports, all one word. They'll match your first deposit up to $1,000. That's massive. A lot of books don't even do $1,000. A lot of books usually do about $500. But $1,000, it's pretty solid. And on top of that, mybookie.ag is also it's a book where, say, if you want to bet on, hey, Gonzaga, Santa Clara, it's going to be televised tonight. But let's just be honest here. Say if you live in the East Coast and you can't have access to watch the game, mybookie.ag will give you the opportunity to watch the game while you're betting. So yeah, you're right, Gia. So, kid's a little excited, to be honest, but yeah. So make sure you check it out. You can watch live sports on mybookie.ag. So it's a great asset. A lot of books do not have that. I mean, even the big boys, the big guns don't have that sort of asset. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Yeah, make sure you check out mybookie.ag. Promo code there is 12 Ounce Sports. They'll match your first deposit up to $1,000. All right. Here we are, NHL, huge, and obviously we know that they had the Nations League, the little break that we all had, for the NHL, a little 2 weeks off. Some of these teams that haven't played yet are back on the ice tonight, like the Flyers. You have a couple teams that haven't played yet since the break, and here we are. Okay. And, you love to see it. You love to see what's going on. So let's kick it off tonight. I got a lot of good plays tonight. Clients have their card, about 8 plays tonight. It's large, but, we're rolling with half units. We've been rolling lately for the last couple of days now since NHL has returned from the break. All right, so let's kick it off. Flyers and Philadelphia Flyers, Pittsburgh Penguins at the Wells Fargo Center tonight. Over-under here is at 5.5 at around minus 120-ish. Okay. Philly, minus 115 on the money line. Pittsburgh, plus 105. It's about a 65% of the money going towards the Flyers' money line. Okay. Now, in terms of the over-unders, these two teams, it's been, the last 10 have kind of gone to the under. All right, so the last 10, you're talking about 3, 6, and 1 for each side here. But over under at home for the Flyers, in the last 10, there's 4 and 6. Pittsburgh on the road, 2, 7, and 1 in their last 10 road games with the unders. The unders is a trend, but I do see some goals in this game here tonight. I like the Flyers on that small money line tonight, minus 115. I also lean the over 5.5. I think we're going to see some goals here this evening, ladies and gentlemen. I truly, truly do. So let's roll with that tonight in our first game tonight. Flyers money line minus 115, the full game over 5.5. Pittsburgh Flyers. I expect some fireworks. We're gonna roll the dice there, and we'll be good. We really will be good. I like that spot. Dallas and Columbus Stars heading to the Jackets tonight. Over under is at 6. Dallas minus 190 on the money line. Columbus plus 170. Okay. 65, once again, 65% of the public money going on Dallas tonight. Columbus getting a plus 170, about 40% there. So this is not like a terrible situation here for Columbus. I do feel like Columbus has been scoring lately. And against the spread, they're 21-7 against the spread, in terms of covering that plus 1.5 spot at home. So they've been a great home team. This might be a surprising upset tonight. Columbus plus 170. I highly recommend sprinkle a little bit on that money line tonight. In terms of for a side, I do lean Columbus puck line plus 1.5 and a little bit on the money line. They're a great home team, 18-6-4 at home this year, 21-7 covering that spread at home as well. Whether they're minus 1.5 or plus 1.5, they're covering it. Now the over under. Dallas is 8-2 on the road, their last 10 overs. Columbus 3-6-1, their last 10 at home with the overs. I lean over 6 here. I think I say we see plenty of goals. Columbus over 2.5 is a good team total spot. I'm not taking it, but I feel like we're going to see a 3-3 sort of game with overtime. Maybe Columbus wins this 4-3. But again, I just like the spot. I do. I really, really do. So give me the over 6 and give me Columbus puck line plus 1.5 on that spot there. Even a little sprinkle on the money line at plus 170. So there you go. All right, Toronto and Boston at the Garden tonight. Over under. Well, it moved up to 6, but I have 5.5 as well. Toronto minus 145 on the money line. Boston plus 135. 60-40 split there. Toronto getting 60% of the public money. Last 10 over-unders, it's 5-5 each way. Boston at home is 5-5 in their last 10 overs. Toronto 5-5 in their last 10 on the road. Okay. Boston at home, 18-9-4, silently good home record. But Toronto, on the other hand, 15-9-2 on the road. Solid record for the Leafs on the road. So, and they're playing a little bit, they're a team that's been getting a groove on lately. They have. Boston, not so much, very inconsistent this year. So I'm going to go Toronto money line minus 145, a little pricey for me, but I will take it. And I like the over 5.5 in this spot there as well in Boston. I think Boston will contribute a couple goals, but Toronto, they, when they could play, they could play. And this is a time where they usually kickstart, second half of the season, and building that momentum to playoff time. And I like Toronto in this spot. Give me the Leafs money line minus 145 and the full game over 5.5. Calgary, Washington. All right, Flames, Caps. Here we are. Calgary plus 175 on the money line. Capitals minus 190. 80% of the public money on the Caps right now. I'm not surprised. Capitals 18-4-6 at home this year. Absolutely rolling at the moment. Like, they are just a force. They are a force right now, the Capitals. Calgary, a decent road record. Okay, not terrible. Over-unders here. It looks like the last 10. 7-3 at home for the Caps in the last 10. Calgary 3-6, 3-6-1 in the last 10 on the road. I think Washington takes care of business here tonight. I like them on the puck line at plus 130-ish, so not terrible. I just think they roll. I think they roll. I want to say, I'd say like 3-1, 4-1 in some sort of way. I think they cover tonight. So give me the Capitals puck line minus 1.5 at plus 130-ish. I would add Washington into a parlay by any means, in some sort of parlay if you like. And in terms of the over-under, I like the under 6 though in this spot. I do. As much as Washington has been rolling, lately at home, and Calgary's kind of been inconsistent on the roads, but I can see that 4-1 sort of game for Washington. So that's where I like it. Caps puck line and the money line in some sort of parlay, and the under 6 is where I'm at in that game. Anaheim Buffalo over under here's at 5.5, between 5.5 and 6. You get 6 at minus 115, 5.5 is around minus 135. Okay. Buffalo minus 185, Anaheim plus 170, 70% of the public money on Buffalo, which is huge considering that, they're another team that's been very inconsistent. Anaheim, on the other hand, on the road, they're covering the spread, 38-18 on the season in terms of covering the spread. And on the road, they're 20-9 covering the spread too. So, this is a good potential spot here for Anaheim to not only steal a win in Buffalo, but to at least cover that spread. So if we're talking about upsets, I think this is one to talk about. All right, I like the full game over 5.5. Both teams have been scoring at will lately. Buffalo 7-3 at home in the last 10. Anaheim 7-2-1 their last 10 on the road. So you got to give it to them. I just like the way that they've been scoring. They've been keeping up. Give me the Anaheim Ducks money line plus 170 against Buffalo and the full game over 5.5. Carolina Montreal. This is going to be an interesting game here tonight. Carolina Montreal. All right, Carolina minus 210 on the money line, and Montreal plus 190. 60% of the public money on Carolina. Over under here is at 6. When it comes to the over under, Montreal 2-7-1 in their last 10 at home. So, it's been hit or miss for Montreal lately. Carolina, we know, can score at will. This to me seems to be like another game where Carolina's a very defensive team. Montreal, they could be very inconsistent as we know as well, but they know they could cover the spread. Montreal. Okay, so you're looking at that plus 190 money line spot. I don't think they win, but they might be able to cover the spread. Either way, this game in general is not on my card, but I do lean the under 6, and I like Carolina, on the puck line minus 1.5. That's what I lean. Not on my card, but again, it's just as usually what I do with my show. I give you guys leans and my favorite spots in this situation. So we'll go Carolina puck line and the full game under 6 as they take on the Habs there in Montreal. Game of the night, what everyone has basically been looking forward to. That's the Edmonton Oilers, Tampa Bay Lightning. Over under here is at 6.5 at minus 120. This is basically as even as it gets, minus 105 each way. And it looks like Tampa's getting 65% of the public money. When it comes to everything here, everyone matches up pretty well. Edmonton 16, on the road, 34-19-4 on the road this year. Against the spread, they're not great. That's the only problem. 20-37 when covering the spread. So, if anything, I could see a 4-3 sort of game for either team. I truly do. But I think we're going to see goals, and I think we're going to see goals quite early in this game, considering that, hey, you have two of the hottest offenses between Edmonton and you have Tampa. These offenses, we know when they're on, they're on. Okay, so who doesn't want to see fireworks to start it off? So let's do the bingo, bango, bongo sort of spot here. Edmonton, Tampa, full game over 6.5, first period over 1.5, and we're going to roll with Tampa Bay tonight on the money line. That's what I'm liking. But Tampa, very small, if anything. That didn't make my card, but the over 6.5 and first period over 1.5, these gotta be good plays, all right? And that's what I like. I do. This is gonna be a fun game to watch. I expect plenty of goals in this one, and we'll take it from there, 100%. So first period over 1.5, full game over 6.5. Edmonton, Tampa, let's rock and roll. Okay. Rangers, Islanders, Battle of New York. Over-under here's at 5.5. This is a split, 50-50 each. Rangers a slight favorite, minus 110. Islanders getting around plus 100. Okay. Rangers, I don't like their form lately, as we all know. Islanders, same way, very inconsistent. But I'm going to roll with the Islanders tonight. Plus 100. I'll take that small spot there in the full game under 5.5. This game did not make my card. But, again, just going to go with what I like here. Islanders and the under 5.5. Florida, Nashville. Once again, another spot here. Florida minus 150 on the money line. Nashville plus 135. 65-35 split. Florida getting that money there at 65%. We all know that Nashville, and lately, it's kind of been, just a lot of unders lately with Nashville. They're either hot or cold, but they can score against terrible teams like San Jose, just to name, one. But, Florida comes in, they can score. But this spot here at over-under at 6 is very tough because I do like the over, but I do like the under. But I can tell you right now, I'm on Florida tonight, puck line and the money line tonight, the minus 150-ish, and the puck line minus 1.5. You can get that around plus 135 anyway too. So any spot here tonight, I'm on Florida, and I lean the under 6 in this spot here. I do. I lean the under, so we'll rock with the under 6. But Florida, I favor big time. So Panthers money line, Panthers puck line. Seattle, St. Louis, once again, another game that didn't make my card. Seattle plus 125, St. Louis minus 140, 75% of the public money on St. Louis tonight. I lean first period over 1.5, but full game under 5.5. I can see this game being 1-1, maybe 2-0 St. Louis, and then kind of like slowing down and ending maybe 3-1, 4-1. Okay, so I'm going to go first period over 1.5, full game under 5.5. And then the Blues on the money line at minus 135, minus 140-ish. Detroit, Minnesota. Okay, here we are. Full game over 5.5. We know what happened last time. It was a 4-3 game there. That went easily over. Minnesota minus 115 on the money line. Detroit plus 105. All right, the over has been crushing it lately for both of these teams. So let's rock it. First period over 1.5. Full game over 5.5, and the Detroit Red Wings money line at plus 105. I will take the small, value there, and then the 35% of the public that are taking Detroit tonight. So we'll go with the minority there. So Red Wings plus 105, full game over 5.5, first period over 1.5. So let's rock there in Minnesota. And last but not least, Chicago, Utah. Over under here is at 6. Utah minus 260 on the money line. Chicago plus 230. All right. Over unders at 6, and this is another game where I do like the under, the full game under, but first period over, just because of the way that Chicago's first period overs this season have been. Lately they kind of tuned down the last couple, but I like the first period over again in this game. I do. So let's go first period over 1.5 in Chicago, Utah, full game under 6. And you know what? At the price for Chicago, why not? Give me the plus 230 on the money line tonight for Chicago. I'll even take the spread, the plus 1.5 as well for Chicago and Utah. And ladies and gentlemen, just like that, I'm out of time. Hopefully everyone had fun. I know it's a large card. If you missed out on the show, I will retweet it out. Make sure you guys get it. Pick and choose, man. I'm telling you right now, but these are a lot of good plays that I have for tonight, and I expect plenty of cashing out. So have a wonderful, wonderful night, and I'll be back on Thursday as we talk more hockey. Have a wonderful evening. Let's cash some tickets out and enjoy the rest of your evening. Good night.
Need tickets to that next event? Well, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got them with soccer anywhere in the world. Tickets to any venue, any sport. Want to go to NCAA or NFL football matches? We've got them.
Yeah.
Baseball at every level. Every Power 5 matchup is available. Don't forget, costumes and paint are optional. What's that? You want to go to Broadway? We have those too. Want to jam out? Every concert, every artist. That's right. At 12 Ounce Sports, we've got the tickets for less. 12ozsports.com/tickets. That's 12ouncesports.com/tickets.